I'm really interested. Yeah, we have. How like what you.
So she's doing it. She loves it.
Yeah, so we're, I reach out, yeah.
Alyssa, are we good on YouTube?
Yep, I already started it. I started it. So. Until I start getting complaints.
My kids are on tonight. So Annette, are you ready to join us here for okay, we're just getting going here, so I'm going to go ahead and kick off. I've got you kind of set in the middle of all of us here, so we'll try to speak up and project a little bit tonight, but let us know if you have any issues hearing, okay? Okay, I would like to call this meeting to order. This is the regular meeting for the Garden Valley School District number 71, and we're calling this meeting into session on Tuesday, July 12th, and it is approximately 6:04 p.m. All right, second up, let's have a roll call. If you are here tonight, if you wouldn't mind just speaking your name in order to state that you're present. Let's start with me. Ryan Williamson is here.
Kylie Peters.
George Simpson.
Okay. And then, I don't know, just email the shot guys. Okay. Roll call is complete. Thank you. Okay, next item. Let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. First order of business here is that we need to approve and adopt this month's agenda. So I would like to, I assume everybody has received the agenda and has had a chance to review it over the last couple of days, or I guess end of last week, hopefully. And if we're good, then I would like to ask for a motion to go ahead and approve and adopt this month's agenda. Can we get a motion for that?
I motion that we adopt the agenda.
Okay. Second. Okay, Morris seconds that. Then we have a vote. All in favor of approving this agenda?
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Okay, that passes unanimous. Okay, the agenda for this month is now approved and adopted. Okay, item number 5, we're moving right along. By the way, I just want to say real quick, we do have a fairly full agenda tonight, so I'm going to be moving a little bit quick, so if it seems like I'm going fast. I just want to make sure we don't take up too much time. So, okay, item number 5, we would like to go ahead and interview the candidate that we have for Zone 5 for School Board Trustee. So I believe we have Douglas in the room tonight. Douglas, you're welcome to, I don't know, do we have a microphone?
We don't have a microphone,
Okay.
but if he wants to stand right up here, can you guys both?
Yeah, if you want to stand
see
behind
him
the
right
podium,
here?
maybe.
Then you're on camera
Kind
too,
of
which
give
is
us a projector
obviously
on that.
important.
Okay. And we're here, we'll ask you just a few questions. You're kind of a little bit of a light panel maybe for Doug here today, but I don't know if anybody wants to kick off. I guess, Doug, you want to start by maybe sharing with us about your interest in being part of the board and kind of what brought you to the place where you wanted to submit your letter of intent.
Sure. And I would commit to the letter of intent that I forwarded to you and that you all have to look at. I have, I've lived here in Garden Valley for about 12 years, and I have, for most of that time, had some interest and concern in the school, for the young people, and I have volunteered to help with band and orchestra. Have gone through background check, fingerprinting.
Yeah.
Well, he won't be.
Hey, Morris.
He needs to
Yeah.
use it.
Hey, Morris, can you mute your phone real quick? There's just a little bit of background noise.
Yeah, I can hear now, just that the.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Sorry, Doug.
Anyway, in those 10 years, I've seen that we have a great school, great faculty, great students, but I'll have to tell you, I have always been enthusiastic about how the school board has been attentive to the community and the school. So I offer my services, my experience. I come here with a commitment to the students, faculty, staff, and the community.
Does anybody have any follow-up questions?
I just wanted to bring up a point again, that this wasn't on the preliminary agenda, this just got put on the final agenda, right?
No, this was on the first one too.
Oh, no, that's, oh, sorry,
Yes.
I didn't see that on that first. But you were talking about, you had some concerns with the way the board had operated with the community and the school. Do you have any, want to flesh that out a little bit, or?
Well, I don't know how specific you want me to be, but I sat here in a gathering of the community. There was some trouble with the superintendent, you know, brought all that up.
Is this recent times, or is this?
It's probably 10 years ago.
Oh,
When the board member stood up and says, we won't have a problem with the principal and the superintendent, the superintendent endorsed. It's not, at that point, I thought, we can do better.
that makes sense. All right, well, thank you for that.
That's what started. That's why I'm here. That day I said, I'm going to be with that person.
Okay.
I feel pretty comfortable with your letter of intent. It mapped out my questions for you.
I have one follow-up question. What do you think maybe some of the opportunities that we have in the next couple of years as a board here in Garden Valley? What's an opportunity or two you think we should be seizing on, really taking advantage of in order to grow the school a little bigger?
Well, one of the reasons I stepped up to volunteer to substitute and to volunteer in the classroom is, and I don't know if this is a board thing or just something I can work on with faculty, but in a rural economy, substitute ones for example, for the high school math. You figure high school math teacher has to prep algebra 1, algebra 2, geometry, trigonometry, and calculus. And that's just one high school situation. So between middle school and high school, I just see that those are rural, small school challenges. And one of the things I wonder about is whether we're fully taking advantage of people like me in the community who have experience, education, and, you know, even if we could take these entire people and have a tutor, have a reading, have a listening. So,
Thank you.
Thank you, Doug.
Okay, Doug, do you have any final things you want to share, or?
no, thanks.
Okay, appreciate it. Thank you for taking the time to come up here and speak with us. Appreciate that. Okay. Mark, are you still there? Very good, okay. Okay, next item, I would like to ask for a motion to approve the consent agenda as it is written. Can I get a motion for that?
Mr. Chairman, I would move that we approve the consent agenda as written.
Okay, can I get a second?
I second that.
Okay, thank you, Kylie, seconds that. All in favor of, any discussion? Is there any further discussion on that? Sounds like we're good over here. Okay. Okay, then all in favor of approving this consent agenda? No, aye. Okay.
Whoops.
Good. Consent agenda has been approved and that motion carries. Okay, next item, we've got a discussion, delegations and reports, and Randy will go through his report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good evening, everyone. Just a few quick updates. We have been searching for a security software to help us monitor communications and documents within our systems here in the school, and we have contracted with a company named Gaggle. The services went live today, actually. And of course, we don't have students here right now, but we will be doing a little bit of testing on our own to make sure it's working properly. But this is endorsed by the State Board of Education, and there are other school systems that have it here in Idaho. We're really excited about it, and I feel like it's going to be a great product. So I'll keep everyone updated on that as we go forward. It monitors both threatening type language that could be in an email or a document, and suicidal or self-harm type language. And it gives us an alert, the principal, myself, the tech director, if we need to get involved, we get a text alert about this. Really excited about that. The boiler update, we haven't talked about this for a few months, but the wood chip boiler that is in the building here, we've been trying to get a buyer for it, and we have a very good potential buyer. Now, it's a company out of Oregon that processes firewood, and they have a natural byproduct that can be burned in the boiler. They already have a boiler like this. Last week, they visited, looked at it. They had contractors here. There are a lot of people involved. You've got electricians, you've got plumbers, you've got movers, you've got construction people, because the top has to come off of a building back there for them to remove. You've got crane companies, crane will have to pull it out. Anyway, he had all the players there. They are in the process of giving him estimates on it. He will cover the cost of removing. It won't cost us anything, and it'll be a transfer of ownership from us to him through the U.S. Forest Service, because it was acquired with a grant 10 years or so ago. So I will keep you updated on that, but it looks really good, so hopefully we'll be able to get that. And that'll free up some space back there. Ryan was able to visit one day. We kind of showed him around back there. Mountain Waterworks. Morris, I know you'll remember them. What was it, about 2 years ago when a study was through a grant? Yes, they started a study on our drinking water and our wastewater. Okay, and they came up here several months ago, made a presentation, and they also presented their findings to the DEQ. Well, I shared with you in your packet a letter I received from the DEQ So now we need to have a little public input session and all, and present the options. There are 4 or 5 different options they gave us. We need to present those to the public, get public input, and kind of move forward from there. So I have scheduled them for the August meeting to come up, Mountain Water Works, and do a presentation. And then we'll kind of start talking through our next steps, but we will need to have a public meeting, present our options to the public, get their input, and then we will need to decide what we want to do, you know. And Mountain Water Works will help us determine what funding is available from grants and other sources. And then we'll go to the DEQ and say, this is the option we select, and kind of go from there.
Here's a quick question. Do we need to have a dedicated public meeting for that potentially, or is
Yes.
it monthly meeting the right place to really get into
The
that?
way I understand it, and I will confirm that, we need to have a dedicated meeting for that, like for public input. And but we'll kind of talk through that next month with Mountain Water Works, because they know how to do all of this, because they do it for municipalities and school districts, so they'll walk us through all the steps. Okay? Recognitions, also next month, I'm gonna have one of our students come in, but I want to go ahead and tell you that Gracie Castillo, was awarded the IHSAA Interscholastic Star Student Award. And that's a very big deal. This is out of all the districts in Idaho. And she was selected. So she couldn't be here tonight, but her family, we've got it scheduled for the next meeting. We'll have them here. We'll present her. She's getting a little scholarship money. It's a big recognition, but I want to make everyone aware of that. Real excited for her. Hiring, we'll be talking about some of that tonight. Just to give you an update, we are going to be working on filling all the positions except for high school math. We still have that open, and we did hire a recruiting agency. The board had recommended that in the last meeting. They are actively searching for candidates for a high school math teacher. We don't have anyone yet, but we're still working on that. But you'll hear later on as we go through the meeting, we'll be making some recommendations for hiring for our elementary positions and school nurse and all. So we're advancing, and potentially we only have one teacher position vacant after tonight. So things are moving well there. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Okay.
Any questions for me from the board?
I have one question. On the boiler, is there any awareness that the board needs to have in regards to upcoming decisions, or how we need to help in facilitating that project?
Not that I can think of. The only potential thing, the board will have to approve the transfer and the sale, obviously. And we're not making anything off of this. We're basically getting rid of it without any cost. And the new buyer is going to cover all the costs. It's really technically kind of owned by the U.S. Forest Service. It's purchased from grant funds. And so, but unless there's some hiccup in the details, and we'll have our school attorney involved in the details on the transfer, the only thing will be approving the final transfer.
And we'll start, do we have a timeline for that? Is that going to start occurring in the next?
He is the buyer is securing all these estimates, and our director of maintenance, Dave Bogan, is working with the local contractors. So the ball's in his court. Dave follows up with him about every 2 weeks. So, yeah.
Does anybody have any other questions for Randy? No? Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Randy. Okay, we are moving on to community forum. This is item number 8 on the agenda, community forum on agenda items. I'm going to read this paragraph here real quick. The public comment will be taken from the public on matters scheduled on the agenda. The chairman may interrupt or terminate an individual statement when it is too lengthy, personally directed, abusive, obscene, repetitive, or irrelevant. A person wishing to speak on an agenda item should fill out a request to appear before the board, Form 4105F, and submit it to the board clerk before the meeting begins. These forms will be available at the sign-in desk or can be found on gbse.net. Policy again is 4105F. Melissa, do you know if we've received any requests to appear before the board?
No, we have no requests tonight.
Okay. Very good. We will go ahead and move on. Okay, section 9, we're heading into new business. Okay, first item, which is item A under section 9, we have the line item appointed new school board trustee for zone 5. This is up for discussion and vote. So I would like to propose, we can move straight into discussion on this, right?
Yeah, go ahead and just discuss.
Okay. What I would like to propose in a job opportunity is to try to secure multiple candidates before making a final decision. That's how kind of I've always operated in past hiring situations. What I would like to propose to the board is to consider extending this another 30 days. And then we could use both referral as well as local media to try to a little bit more aggressively get people pulled into the conversation to consider this. So we at least have.
I agree. I appreciate you having me but for something like this, we should have more than one option to do our own due diligence. Yeah, I can agree with that. So I can make a motion that we table this or extend the cycle in 30 days.
Yeah, I'd like to do that specific. I'd like to be very specific on that we're going to take some different actions. Yeah, but I want to add some detail to the motion. So we should be using referral networks. So we need a map of District 5. So each of us, each person on the board understands where we're looking for folks in that. And then if we can really be diligent about spending, it's this direction, right?
No, there's a map on the stage right here.
But
So
is it District 5?
after the meeting, but yes, it is that direction.
So yeah, what I would like to suggest, I guess, is that we look exactly where, so we know where District 5 is, and this is a small community, we all know people. So we actively go out and try to make 1 or 2, 3 contacts over the next 30 days, requesting warm referrals in of folks that we know in the community, asking to see if we can generate some interest. There might be folks out there that just aren't aware that this has been open. So referrals are always one of the strongest ways to attract candidates for any type of opening. And also consider using local media. So 98.5, the radio station, we could put, I think we've done it in the past. But I'd like to suggest we exercise some additional options because maybe what we're using right now isn't getting much reach.
I would recommend when you make the motion, you don't need to put all that detail. You really only need to say that you would like to secure more candidates, so you want to extend it for 30 days.
Yeah. And that's
Too much detail on a motion makes it
okay. Yeah,
hard
I need to have
to,
that written down.
not hard to write
try
it.
the same thing. I want us to try some additional tactics.
right, it's also legally binding, so.
Okay, so anyways, with that said, does anyone have anything?
No, you go ahead.
Morris, did you have something to say?
Just a question of clarity.
Okay.
Do you want those details to be included in the motion?
I don't know that all the detail is necessary. It was more discussion. Okay, so I cannot make a motion. Would anybody here like to make a motion?
Okay.
I thought somebody already volunteered.
Yeah, I'll do it. So I move that we extend the deadline for the trustee for zone 5, 30 more days, or until just before our next meeting.
So let me look at the calendar and,
We'll put a date on there. So extend for,
let's see, our next meeting would be August 9th. So the Friday before that's August 5th.
so I move that we
Yes.
extend the
Before
deadline.
the motion, can we have it the Thursday before our meeting so that, if it does come in, at least we can see it on the proposed agenda?
Oh, yeah, so that would be the 4th.
The proposed agenda comes out on the Thursday?
So August 4th.
Yeah, so make it August 4th.
Okay.
Okay. So I move that we extend the deadline for the school board trustee for zone 5 to August 4th to pursue more candidates. How's that?
Very good. Do we have a second?
A second.
Okay, we have a second. All in favor? Any discussion, or is there any discussion, further discussion on this? Okay, all in favor? Aye. Aye. Okay, that passes. Thank you very much. Okay, moving on to section 12, item B. Approve or deny superintendent recommendation for hiring of a school nurse. Oh, I am way out. Oh, wait. I'm just checking to see if anyone. All right, let me be here. Declare an emergency hiring situation for Garden School District due to vacant teacher positions.
So if I can take this one, Mr. Chairman. All right, so we did not have any certified teacher applicants for our elementary positions. However, we do have two paraprofessionals that are working on degrees that qualify for an emergency provisional certificate to teach. And in order for that to happen, the board has to declare the hiring emergency. We submit that to the state along with their application, and they approve them on a provisional basis to teach. So that's the reason for this motion. I mean, this item.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, go ahead, Mark.
you know, when it comes to the IUAB, the board has discussed the issues that we didn't have with IUAB this year. I think the board is somewhat aware of some of the staff at school that we have that are applying for it. That is something that the board has done before. It's something that happens a lot in rural districts that have difficulty filling teaching positions. And I would make a motion that we declare the emergency and move forward. So I'll make that motion.
Okay,
I second that.
very good. Kylie seconds the motion. Any further discussion on this? I think it makes sense that we need to do this, and it seems pretty straightforward. So. Okay, all in favor of moving into emergency hiring situation in Garden School District?
Aye.
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 Okay, that is unanimous, that passes. Okay, next item of business is C, we want to discuss and set a date for a school board retreat. So this is something that I think that we should have this year. I think it's a good thing to have a retreat each year as a board, and I think we should take the opportunity to sit down together and really focus on some strategic discussions around where we're going as a school, as a district, where we would like to see ourselves in the years to come, what the vision would be and the mission in order to set us on that path, and as well as using some of that high level in order to give Randy the focus that he needs in order to set up the right programs, projects, and initiatives, and all of that. So I want to just really create some top-down alignment, and we really need to take probably a full Saturday at a minimum, but really just thinking if we can do it in one full day. I would like to propose that. I'm thinking sometime either the end of August or the beginning of September. I would propose either, it could be a Friday, if the school is out of session on Friday, so we could actually do a Friday if that's easier for people, or a Saturday is okay too. I would like to do the morning session is board only, okay, and then the afternoon session, we bring in administration once we start getting into some of the projects and initiatives that we need to roll up with that, right? Because we had discussed that, right? So that's so I think retreats are always best to be had off-site from when possible. It just kind of, you get into work mode a little bit when you're at work, and when you go off-site, it kind of lets the creative juices flow a little bit more. So we do have, I think, a place across the street, a retreat center.
Yeah, we can reach out to them.
I think we have a motion across the street. Yeah, so, yeah, we just be local. Yeah, no, we're not traveling anywhere tomorrow, but.
Mr. Chairman, I will mention, just today, well, actually yesterday, they delivered the two parts of the modular office building out there. Some of you may have seen it, and they're in the process. It'll take them about a week to get it set up, and then we got new internet service and all, electricity and everything hooked up, but it would be possible to do it in the new modular office out there, you know, on weekend or Friday, you know, got a conference room. Either way, that's fine.
Okay. Yeah, so, yeah, option A is if we have it outside, I think that's preferable. If for some reason we can't find a location in Garden Valley, have it outside, then we do have it in the school here, it sounds like that's possible, but. Does anybody have thoughts on when a good Friday and or Saturday would be in either late August or early September? And is everyone here on board planning on being here physically during that period of time?
I would not be able to do anything in August.
You're not sure. Okay.
But September will be,
Okay.
whatever we decide on, we'll have to all learn the calendar probably.
Yeah.
Say, okay.
Okay.
Ryan,
Yes.
for me, I really love the idea of something that I thought about for many years, and something that we haven't been able to even talk about. And so I'm really excited about it, and I will do my best to be there, but I'm trying to get us moving to a new place, and between working full time and starting a third job or something like that, I am going to be slammed, but my commitment would be to do my utmost to be there, because I'm not the person to say, yes, I'll be there, and then be afraid.
Yeah.
I want you to know it's going to be tough for me,
Okay.
but I'm going to do my utmost to be there, because things like this excite me.
Okay. Very good.
So I'm not in town the 13th through the 22nd.
Okay, of August.
No, September.
Oh, September, okay. So potentially, maybe the end of the first week of September, every day?
Yeah, and I'm not available on the 10th. I'll be out of town then, but it's like maybe the 24th of September, maybe the best day, because
Okay.
Labor Day is the 3rd.
So let's table, not table, this is the wrong word. Let me follow up with each of you individually on scheduling, because I don't want to take up a ton of time tonight on trying to get scheduling done, but I did want to lay the groundwork with you guys that this retreat, just make sure I'm getting some head nodding and everyone agrees this would be a good thing for the board plan, so.
You don't have to make a motion on this, right?
No, this is just discussion. Okay, Morris, are you okay with that?
I'm okay with that.
Okay, I'll follow up with each of you, like I said, we'll get something on the calendar. Okay, moving on to item D, discuss and approve or deny adding a new position, the assistant clerk of the school board. Randy, do you want to talk a little bit on
Yeah,
the
so
topic?
this is a position that has been staffed in the past. In fact, Lydia told me that she had served as the assistant board clerk before, and so has Stephanie. So we have had assistant board clerks in the past. Chairman Williamson and I spoke with Melissa last week. She's going to be one of our new teachers, and she's going to be very busy, and we feel like she's going to need some help. So we feel like it's the right thing to do to have an assistant to fill in and help her out.
So, Melissa's not resigning, right?
No, I'm not resigning, this will just be someone to help me out.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we have it in the budget.
This is already been.
Yeah, it's fine. There's no budgetary concern. Yeah, there's money's in the budget set aside for the school.
Morris, did you have a comment?
I like the whole thinking of the school, and with Melissa being a new school teacher, I think we should move forward with this. And also, for board to know there's the school budget, and then there's board budget, and board budget does not take away from the kids' education.
Correct.
So I'm really much for it. I'll make a motion when that comes up.
Any further discussion? Okay, Morris, go ahead and make your motion if you'd like.
I move that we create the position of assistant board clerk.
I second that.
Kevin seconds that. Any further discussion? Okay, all in favor?
I
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, that motion carries. Thank you. Okay, moving on to new business. This is E. We're going to discuss whether we approve or deny adding a middle school cheerleading coach or
Just having cheerleading.
or chief program. Yeah.
So I've been approached by several parents over the last month or so, requesting that we bring back middle school cheerleading. Apparently we had it years ago. I did not have any concerns with having middle school cheerleading. It's very common to have it at most schools. So I talked with our athletic director, it would be under his purview, Mr. Chandler. He's fine with it. We do have some volunteers from parents to work it. So I recommend we add this. It prepares the cheerleaders to move up to high school as well. So.
Okay, so this won't take from everything out of the school's education budget, right?
No, it's not budgeted for, so we would do it on a volunteer basis this year, and we would put it in next year's budget. So nobody would be getting paid for it, it'd be volunteers only. Kind of like when we started the baseball team this past year, it wasn't budgeted, so all the coaches were volunteering, and there was no pay for that, so.
And this would be for all sports? I guess.
Primarily football and basketball.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Mark, go ahead.
this has come up to the school board before. And I would like us to see us expand within education and focus on the education of our kids instead of adding more sports programs or extracurricular programs. That's my opinion. We're a big board now, and I'm just expressing to you where I'm at.
If the resources involved are volunteers and their parents who have a specific affinity to this type of a program and it's not taking away from a whole lot of school resources, does that maybe address some of that?
Sometimes the kids would like to be out of school, to go to away games. They might say, no, we don't need to go home games. And then eventually it's going to become a big decision, and I'd rather see us, because of our hanging situation and conditions, not very focused on education. That's just how I am. And that's the way that I make myself sometimes. So.
Any other thoughts or discussion on that?
Yeah, so I find it to be valuable for our students to have extracurriculars to do. I think it's very important. So I'm actually in favor of doing it.
These would be only for middle school sports programs.
Correct.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, because the high school cheerleaders,
Right, middle school sports programs.
The thought in the community around this, just from what I have heard, is that the boys have a lot of things that they can do, especially in the winter time, and the girls don't have as much. There's not as much a way for them to be involved, and they would like to be, and this type of program allows them to really be part of it, which to me makes sense, I think so. The fact that it doesn't have any budget requirements and where we're getting it going, and that doesn't put us on the hook that we have to fund it. To me makes it, easier to sit
Give
there.
it a try and see
Yeah.
how it goes.
Mhm. Yeah,
So, just as this is a question of clarity,
okay.
high school cheer, was that a volunteer position last year?
I think it was paid last year. I had to verify and make sure.
No, it wasn't started out as a volunteer position.
Are you saying it started last year?
No, when it started out as a volunteer.
Whatever it is, that year.
Volunteer position, and in 2 years, it's part of the budget. So, yeah, that's what I meant. I think I'm seeing what I need.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think the chairman just said that, really doesn't put the board on the hook for it next year. You can make a decision when we get to the budgeting process next year to either fund it or not. So,
Yeah.
Okay, is there further discussion on this right now? Or should we go ahead and
Somebody wants to make a motion?
Yeah, does somebody like to make a motion on this?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to motion that we adopt the middle school cheerleading this year.
Okay, we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, George seconds that. Any last discussion on this item? Okay, all in favor of adding middle school cheerleading?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Is Morris abstaining?
Is there any opposed or abstaining?
I vote
Okay,
for.
okay, so because this is a majority vote, then I believe that.
Yes, it passes.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Okay, moving on to new business item G. Or F.
Well, F and G, Mr. Chairman, if you want. So there are certain policies that the board is required to adopt every year on an annual basis. And there are some of our policies that have not been revised in many years. Okay? I have assigned one of our staff members to work on a project to go through our policy manual and identify those policies that we need to get the latest version updated to approved by the board. It's a massive undertaking, and we're going to try to bring a couple of policies to you each month that need adopting by the board. Now, these two that we have brought for this month, 3300 and 3295, are actually required to be adopted annually. So we have brought in the latest version from the ISBA for these policies, and they were in your packet. And really the only thing under, which one's first, 3300, under the section that says, for purposes of this policy, drugs shall mean, and we're going to list 8 items. We would like to add by number 4, tobacco products and any vaping products. We would like to add that in there because that is a huge issue in schools these days. But other than that, it's pretty much the same wording as the prior policy, and we recommend that the board adopt it.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we agree to the updates to policy 3300 policy.
Okay, Kylie seconds that. Any further discussion on policy 3300?
Because I'm on my phone, Mr. Chair, I'm not sure if that's the one that's been in both red and green.
No, it's
It
not.
is not, no.
All right.
Okay,
Then I'm fine.
okay. All right. All in favor of adopting this updated policy 3300?
Aye.
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 Okay, thank you. That passes. All right, now the next item is policy 3295. Your review, is that talk on that?
Yes, there are no changes. This is an annual requirement that we adopted, the board adopted, excuse me. There are no changes, so.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to approve that we keep policy 3295 as changes.
Okay, do we have a second to that? Okay, very good. Any further discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, very good. Policy 3295 has been accepted and is now up to date. Okay, item H under new business, discuss the application process for future appointed school board trustees. So in this item, the topic here is that in certain situations, historically, the board has been in a situation where they either have to move quickly or there's reasons that bringing candidates on has to be kind of compressed. And in order to do that in a way that is really valuable to candidates and people that are applying, they should not just simply be based off of a letter of intent. It should also be based off of an application, which is totally different than a letter. So I would like to, this is just a discussion right now, But this discussion would potentially lead to a modified application process, which is not just an LOI, but it's an LOI plus an application that we provide to anyone that's interested in coming on to the Board of Trustees. Then in situations where maybe we're overwhelmed, we have too many candidates, we don't have enough time to go through all of them, we actually have their full application, and we're much better equipped to respond to what we're dealing with in that situation than just a simple letter of intent, which letter of intent doesn't communicate clearly to the person that's applying that it's an application, because that's really not the same thing. So I'd like to suggest that we investigate or research modifying our application process to include an application as well as the request of a letter of intent. And our board can handle that internally, and we would have a document for review at the next regular meeting, potentially, if everyone agrees.
That's good with that, because trustee appointee things will stop the process of this whole school board. So I'd like to definitely make that clear.
Yeah. Okay, any other thoughts on that? You agree, Kylie? Morris, do you have any thoughts on that matter?
I like the idea, and I like to look at the document, yeah, of course.
Okay, very good. So I'll go ahead and take the action myself on that to try to come up with an application document that is simple and clear and straightforward. And the goal would be to present that to the board and have a modified process decided upon at the next regular meeting, if that's okay.
And so, Mr. Chair, that would then become policy, correct?
That is correct.
Correct, we would.
Correct. Okay, so no vote on that. That's just a discussion, so everybody has visibility of what this is and that might be coming. Okay. Okay, that wraps up new business. We're now heading into old business. We have a few items that we're carrying over from past meetings. Item A is to discuss and possibly approve amendments to policy 3305.
And Mr. Morgan, this is the one you referenced with red and green writing. The red writing was from a revision we made, a couple of different revisions over the last few months. And the green writing is one of the last things we discussed about adding the discipline procedure wording for expulsion, because that requires board action when we move to expulsion. It's a recommendation for expulsion from the superintendent and the administration, and then the board has to act on that with a hearing. So you'll notice on page 3, under number 2, subsequent offenses, we have added the green writing in letter B to say the initiation of the discipline procedure for expulsion. So if we were to get to that point, I would recommend expulsion. It would come to the board for their hearing. Okay. Same thing in item number 3 under A.
Randy?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I've read through the document. And my only concern was when we spoke about it, I would have liked to have seen the term board in that document. Now, you say that we would initiate, that administration would initiate expulsion, and it is another board policy that says, a school policy that says the board deals with expulsion, but I would have liked to have seen in this document the mention of board, because as I read through it, I did not see board anywhere, and so that is what I would have liked. I'm not saying I'm against what is there right now, but I would have liked to have seen board, because it speaks of administration, and it doesn't come across very clearly that it would be a board function.
Okay, yeah, because that is defined, the procedure is defined in another policy document that talks about the different types of discipline.
So once you get the
so-
procedure, you
Yeah,
have to report to the other policy.
right. Now, if the board wants it in here, I mean, we can put it, but that, I think that's what you're referring to, right, Mr. Morgan?
Yeah, and because in the suggestions that were made on the wording, the word board was needed. And so when I read it, it's like, yeah, we haven't seen the word board. And I read it a few times just to make sure that, but it doesn't say board, it just says that administration will
The discipline procedures
Expulsion,
for expulsion.
expulsion procedures.
Right. Which requires board hearing. So it's a matter of nomenclature if you want it in there or not.
Do we want to tag a line at the end that it's just one additional sentence that says requires?
Say refer to policy.
Yeah, there you go, refer to policy that does not. What if we reference the other policy, Morris, for that?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
that's fantastic.
Okay. So,
We can put in parentheses. I'll figure out how best to put it in there.
If you reference the other policy, then that's fine. But that reference, it becomes part of this policy, so that, when people are going to policy, they will see that, hey, I've gone to this other policy, and then they'll see that the board deals with expulsion. So we don't get sideways if somebody in the future reads this policy and says, hey, we initiate expulsion and move forward with that.
That's fine. Like I could put the parentheses right after discipline procedures, C policy number, blah, blah, blah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So,
I'll take that as a, we'll just leave it in old, we'll push to the next.
Yeah,
meeting.
we'll just-
Okay, moving on, item B, old business, discuss Title IX policies 3085, 3085E, 3085F1, and 3085F2, possibly approve adaptation of these policies. First reading. Sure, we have some discussion about this one.
This is still hard for me for me as a board member to adopt this policy, because as we've discussed in the past, we would have to formally sign up to these agreements that these other schools are having, but I still not there yet. Myself,
Same for me. I did dig into this a little bit on my own, did some research, and there's so much activity in this space on the legal side of things that's still in motion. And it'll go there'll be one decision on this side, and the next one goes the other way. And there's just a lot going on. And so, as well as other school districts are having, they're wrangling with this at the same time too. They're having the same sort of discussion that we are. We had mentioned in the past that it would sure be nice to have the full board in place as we go through this, not only for doing our own due diligence research-wise, but being able to get to a more clear decision making. I would like to propose that we can actually postpone this indefinitely,
Yes.
which is something that we can do. We don't have to set a date for that. What that means is we still track this. This is still a very important issue. This does not fall off of our radar in any way, but we don't have the ability to set a date because we have these unknown dynamics in place, such as when are we going to have a full board? When are some of these court cases going to reach settlement? And there's no way we can know that. So what this means, if we do a postpone indefinite, it means that we continue to track this, and as soon as some of these conditions are completed, we can bring it back onto a regular agenda. Lawrence, did you have a comment there?
No, I agree with you.
Okay. Any thoughts on that as far as you happen to have, or?
I agree with that path. I think it's the best path.
Mr. Chairman, I'm going to make a motion that we postpone this Title IX policies. What's the whole thing?
Say postpone, no, just say postpone it indefinitely.
Postpone these Title IX policies indefinitely.
I will second that.
Okay, any further discussion on that? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, that passes. Thank you. Okay, moving on to C in old business, discuss and approve coach's pay schedule. There's a little bit of background on this, just to, I don't know, Randy, do you want to speak on this for a quick
So
second?
we actually talked about it in the budget hearing at last month, and I think everyone was in favor, but if you have any further questions, we just needed to get it as an agenda item to be approved.
Yeah, it was never actually voted on.
It's never voted on, so, but that's the chart that you have in your packet, kind of showing where we're at, where we were before, where Rimrock and Notice are right now.
community that is of the opinion that we focus more on sport, we put more effort into sport than we do on education. And so that is where I'm at. When I came onto the board, one of the things I said was I'd like to focus on the education of my kids, and I'm still there.
And I can understand where Morris is coming from on that too, but I do feel that sports is part of education as well. Kids do learn a lot in sports. A lot of life lessons they learn in sports as well, with education. But I have a question for Randy here. Mr. Superintendent. Is there an option for all these coaches' pays here? Is there an open option for these coaches to waive that? Or is this?
Yes, for example, I waive.
Right, so there is an option
No,
for
no,
these.
but Mr. Chair.
Yes, Morris.
Yeah, okay, all right, no,
Are you good?
no, I'm good.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so I just want to know if that option is out there.
It is, yes.
You know, I know that it's one of
The head coach is allowed to kind of split it up how they want. Some share more than others with their assistants.
I can guarantee if you broke down the hours they spend
Oh, yeah.
on those coaches, they're not getting, nobody's retiring. So I don't know, from my perspective, I do feel the kids learn a lot in sports. And although it's not part of the education program specifically, I don't need to.
And I would, and I appreciate Mr. Morgan's comments, I really do, because, but I don't want the public, because this is a broadcast and people hear these meetings, I don't want you to misunderstand. A lot of the things that the board has to approve deal with extracurricular activities. A lot of the day-to-day business that we do, day in and day out, educating kids, doesn't require board approval for a lot of these things. So I don't want the public to come away thinking that we do not focus on education. So there is a daily focus on education in schools, yeah, for sure. In addition, I'm excited about planning retreat and developing a strategic plan where we can highlight those things that we need to do to become better in our educating of our children and to focus more on test scores and other things and other metrics that we decide are important that will show what we're doing to educate our children. So I think there's a real opportunity here. It's just, there are a lot of extracurricular things that happen in all schools that require board approval. That's the reason so many items on these agendas deal with extracurricular activities.
I'd like to comment on that too. I think it shouldn't be an or conversation most of the time. It should be an and. We do both and we balance them with the resources we have at our disposal as best we possibly can. Sports was a huge thing for me and for the kids in my family as far as learning things like camaraderie and teamwork and social dynamics that are in play are invaluable. You carry those into your job and all through life. So sports is a really fantastic thing. So. But it's true, we have to balance those things with the limited resources that we have, and it's up to the board to try to do an effective job of that, so. Okay, do we have a motion here by James?
Mr. Chair, I would like to motion that we go ahead and approve the coach's pay schedule.
Mr. Chairman, I will second that.
Can I ask you a quick Melissa?
Yeah, I just noticed that mistake too. I did not put the little asterisk,
It should
but
be there.
I believe you can still vote
Yeah,
on it.
Okay. Any
But-
further discussion on this? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, all opposed? Okay. Okay, we have a majority on that motion, so that will go ahead and carry it forward. Okay, item D of old business. Now we will have public comment and any input on the use of funds plan for the ARP ESSER funds. Does anybody in the public in the audience here have any comments on this fund? Okay, we'll go ahead and move on. Okay, section 11, executive session. I'm going to read this paragraph here. An executive session at which members of the public are excluded may be held but only for the purposes and only in the manner set forth in this section. The motion to go into executive session shall identify the specific subsections of this section that authorize the executive session. There shall be a roll call vote on the motion, and the vote shall be recorded in the minutes. An executive session shall be authorized by a 2/3 vote of the governing body. An executive session may be held, A, pursuant to 74-206 subsection 1, subsection A, to consider hiring a private officer, employee, staff member, or individual agent, wherein the respective qualities of individuals are to be evaluated in order to fill a particular vacancy or need. And the second reason is today is D, pursuant to section 74-206, sub 1, sub D, to consider records that are exempt from disclosure as provided in chapter 1, title 74 of Idaho Code. I would like to ask for a motion that the board now go into executive session. And this is a roll call vote. So if you vote that we do this, please state your name.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we go into executive session pursuant to 74-206 subsection I and subsections A and B.
Second.
Okay, and I guess we don't have to do it all in favor because it's a roll, so.
It's a roll call,
We
so
say
say your
our
name and
so
say yay.
Ryan Williamson and,
Heidi Peters.
okay,
George Simpson?
okay,
On holding time.
okay, perfect. We will now head into executive session. I do want to let everyone here know we have a number of items within these two sections to discuss, so we may be a little bit of time. So just a heads up in case anyone expects to be quick. We'll try to be.
We put it at the end of the meeting for that reason.
Okay, Morris, I'm carrying you with me. I'll try not to drop you, okay?
Oh.
Yeah.
It's a little frustrating that. So,
No, I.
I am going to. Yeah.
Morris, or?
Yes, Morris has stepped out of the meeting. We finished all of the material work. I think we needed him there. And we're gonna wrap up the remainder of the meeting without Morris, which should be okay. So, okay, we are coming out of executive session, and we have some action items that have come out of that session that we would like to run through. Okay, so the first one is to approve, deny superintendent recommendation for hiring of personnel to fill K through 8 positions, contingent upon emergency provisional certification from the state, and to announce those hires.
I would like to make a motion that we hire Heather Gillette and Heather Jenkins to fill the K through 8 positions.
I will second that.
Oh.
All right, any further discussion?
No.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, very good. Congratulations. All right. Good stuff. All right, second, to approve, deny superintendent recommendation for hiring of a school nurse and announce that new hire.
I would like to make a motion that we hire Sarah Mulliken for the nurse position, the school nurse position.
Mr. Chair, I will second that.
Very good. Any further discussion?
No.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, we have a new school nurse. All right, moving on, approve, deny superintendent recommendation for hiring a school counselor. We have now go back.
Mr. Chairman, we still have a couple more interviews to do next week, so I propose that the board push this agenda item because we need to interview a couple more.
And I motion that we push this so the
Table
second
it.
interviews are done.
Until we got a special meeting.
Until the August meeting.
It could be the August meeting or the special, are we having a special?
We are.
Yeah, on 2 weeks, we're having a special meeting.
I think we could probably ready for that.
So that would be postpone it till the special meeting.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, I move that we postpone this new hire for school counselor until the next special meeting.
Do we have a second?
I second that.
Okay, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, that passes. That will be delayed until the special meeting, 2 weeks. Okay, next item, approve, deny superintendent recommendation for hiring of personnel to fill K through 12 positions and announce those new hires.
That's
Okay. I would like to make a motion that we hire Kristen Langfeld for this position.
Mr. Chair.
Actually, she should say K through
K
12.
through 12.
K
K
through
through
12.
Yes. Okay, that's bad. All right. Okay. Just have a second. Okay, very good. Any further discussion?
No.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, that motion passed.
Enough Kristen's watching. It's always great to promote our parish from within. That's an awesome thing. We're really excited about that.
Okay, next item, approve, deny athletic director recommendation for middle school cheerleading coach. And announce the new coach.
I would like to make a motion that we hire Shannon Williamson as the middle school cheerleading coach.
Okay, do we have a second?
I will second that.
Excellent. Any further discussion?
No.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Congratulations. Okay, next item, approve, deny superintendent recommendation for additions to security team.
I think you missed one.
Guys, good one. Oh, athletics.
That's it.
No, security team's
Great.
great.
Yeah.
Oh,
I would like to make a motion that we adopt the recommendations for the admissions to the security committee.
Okay, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Very good. Okay, any further conversation on that? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, that motion has passed. Okay, next item, approve, deny superintendent recommendation for assistant clerk of the school board. Announce new hire.
Mr. Chairman, I would make a motion that we hire Gabe Gillette for the assistant clerk of the school board.
Do we have a second?
I second that.
Very good. Any further discussion?
No.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, that motion has passed.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Yeah. Okay, next item, approve, deny updated middle school, high school, and elementary student parent handbooks to include the new hires.
Yeah, we don't have a lesson in high school.
Right.
So, Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the updated middle school, high school, and elementary student parent handbooks to include the new hires.
I second that.
Okay, any further discussion? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, that motion carries. Thank you. Okay, quick announcement. We've got two final announcements. The next special school board meeting, as we were mentioning a minute ago, is going to happen on July 26th, right here, same time, same place, 6 p.m. Will be a short agenda. It's going to be mostly executive session, but we will still be starting in this room. So, and there will be an agenda posted for that prior to that, right?
Yes. Actually, we may not need to start in this room. We can just start in B7.
Okay,
And anybody who's not part of the executive session would step out.
I see. Okay. Okay.
So that'll probably be in room B7.
Okay. Okay, and secondly, the next meeting, oh, and by the way, I may or may not be here for this meeting. If I am unable to attend, my assistant chair here is going to run the meeting for us, which will be a great opportunity for Kylie. So just a heads up on that. The next regular meeting, however, is occurring on August 9th at 6 p.m. right here. And with that, I believe we can adjourn.
Adjourn at what time?
We're adjourning at 7:56. 7:56. Look at that. 7:02.
Okay.
All right, thank you, everybody.
Congratulations.
Good job, Mr. Chairman.
Right.
That was a heavy agenda to get through in 2 hours.
And I'm excited for you too. You've been through twice.
I look forward to more speedy meetings.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna give this back to you.
It makes me.
Can't tell you how excited I am.
How do you do this? Try and tell Shannon and then
Yeah, I know. You guys are here.
You step on the back. You stand behind it.